Hey guys, we are a group of authors for the ebook What's the Tea with Gen Z? I'm Yanji, the editor-in-chief for this book project.
Hi, I'm Yuki and I'm the leader of the sub-editing department.
Hi guys, I'm Melanie and I'm the head of additional writing team.
I'm Garrett, I'm the head of the copy editing team towards the production of this project.
I'm Ali and I'm the editor-in-chief for this book project. In today's video, a few of us from a group of 50 authors are officially introducing you to our non-fiction ebook, What's the Tea with Gen Z? Our book falls under the genre of self-help with the intention of guiding our fellow Generation Zs and every other generation to personal and mutual understandings. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video.
This book is about everything you need to know about Gen Z, from the way we talk to the way we act. Even the title of the book is actually a slang that Gen Z use, so it definitely represents the concept of our book.
Tea essentially means gossip, or in other words, it could mean information. So the meaning behind our book title is what is going on with Gen Z. In my opinion, I think we as a generation have witnessed a lot of changes in society and the world. I would also say that we are very different compared to the generations that have come before us. We speak in a different way, we act in a different way, we think in a different way. So our book aims to sort of explain that to every generation.
Let me tell you an interesting fact. Do you know that most books about Generation Z, they are not written by Generation Z themselves? They are mostly, authors from the older generations or the other generation. So for the highlight of the book is that this book about Gen Z is written by 50 students of Gen Z themselves. So we are targeting Generation Z and the older generation. So this book actually acts in two ways. The first one is to act as a guidance to Generation Z so they could get a better understanding of themselves. And then the second one is to give an insight to the older generations. So kind of like explaining why Gen Z behave a certain way.
Teenagers and Gen Z, this book is perfect for you as you will find out many relatable stories and useful information to explain who you are as a Gen Z and for you to find out more about yourself. For the older generations, you should really read this book as it will help you get a lot of valuable insights to help you better understand your children, your grandchildren, your employees, or even the generation that is about to rule the world very soon.
Let me give you a few examples of the chapter. The first chapter, The Revolution of the Digital World, basically explaining how the Gen Z revolves around digital world.
So the social media, the internet, and technology itself, they play a very important role in Gen Z's lives, and their lives are also very much revolving around these things. My favorite chapter of the book is actually Chapter 10, Dating a Gen Z, because it is a very fun chapter to read. You are going to find out a lot of juicy details about the love life and relationships of Generation Z.
One of the few reasons why you Gen Zs should read our book is because sometimes you might think, why do I feel this way? Why do I behave this way? Well, there are actually certain reasons for that.
As a Gen Z myself, I constantly question myself. I wonder, why do I say things in the moment? Or why do I act and behave in such a way towards a certain issue? And sometimes I think that it is my problem or it's my issue. Sometimes I think that I'm going through this alone and I'm the odd one out. But when you read this book, you are going to find out that even though we are all different individuals, but as a generation, we have so much in common, and that whatever you are going through, every other Gen Z is going through that as well. So you are not alone. We are all in this together.
Not only that, it helps the older generations have like an insider for how their kids work, because a lot of parents, they have problems understanding their children, and this book can help them with that.
This book really aims to shorten the gap or even close the gap between generations. It is for generations to reach a mutual understanding and to accept one another for their differences and who they are truly.
I think that one of the biggest conflict that we Gen Z have, the older generation, is the difference of our mindset.
The relationship between Gen Zs and older generations, well, in my opinion, the biggest conflict between the older generations and us would be, for example, our parents. There's a lot of things are very different, like the way of talking, solving problems, work ethics. It's all different, and you want to know why. It's something you need to read in the book. So
For me personally, when I tell people around me that I am a mass comm student, they tend to look down on the course and on me as well, because I chose to study this. But when I explain to them what the course is about and how interesting it is, what kind of job I can do, what kind of industries I can go in, they don't really understand. They still think that it's not a professional kind of job. And
I'll tell you a story. Whenever something is spread across WhatsApp, my mom would always believe in it, no matter how sketchy it would be. And she's always a firm believer in it. And it always amazes me of how she believes in these things. And as a fellow Gen Zer, I would always question the credibility of anything that's that's online. Gen Zs, we always see things we always see fake news, and we're used to it, so we don't usually believe in things fast. So yeah, not everything can be trusted, and you can see the difference between the two generations, because the older ones, they're not used to it, so they trust it no matter what.
To all you generations out there, whether you are a generation that's before Generation Z or after Generation Z, you might have a perception of Gen Z that might not be too positive, but hopefully with our book, you'll get to understand that Gen Z is so much more than that.
Even though we have a lot of misunderstanding against each other, but deeply inside we know that all generations, they are unique and good in their own way. So I hope that through this book, we are able to strengthen our relationship between each other.
In conclusion, we absolutely cannot wait for you guys to read our book, as all of us writers have definitely put our heart and soul into creating and writing this book.
What's the Tea with Gen Z? Soon to be published on 8th December 2020 on Wattpad, Bookreeks, Smashwords, and Movelas.
So don't miss out on that.
So you can check our Facebook page, which is What's the Tea with Gen Zs.
be sure and please to check out our book to know more about us.
Together,
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 let's guide you to the world of Gen Z.
Gen Z.